I happen to just look up from the calf raise and I see two 6'3" police officers and they say, "Where is the suspect?" And Ursula points right at me. You see that girl right there? Yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got myself in this situation. Well, let me explain. First, we need to start from the beginning. Hello, if you don't know me, my name is McDaniel and welcome to the finale of the story about how I got fired from LA Fitness. Now, when we're young, or at least when I was super young, and I'm talking about like elementary school all the way up to like high school, like 17, 18, and you hear when someone got fired, you think, well, damn, you got fired? You are probably a horrible person. What did you do? Did you steal? Did you assault someone? Or did you absolutely just suck eggs at your job? Basically, when you're young and you hear that someone got fired, you think they just did something really, really bad. As I got older, I figured out that that's not always the case. Sometimes you get fired because sometimes the people in charge, aka the managers, are petty. So we are now at the point of the story where I've been working at LA Fitness for about 3 years. Now, I'm gonna be very extra in this video because LA Fitness decided to be very extra with me, so it fits. So you know how in the movie 101 Dalmatians, Cruella was nice as Cruella can be, was very nice to Anita until Anita didn't give her what she wanted. And Cruella wanted the little puppies with the spots. And when Anita wouldn't let Cruella pay for the puppies and said no, everything went to the shitties. Yes, shitties is a word. Start using it. Well, LA Fitness, Cruella, my manager, was super sweet at first. She left me alone, I did my job, and she sold training. And honestly, that's the way I like it. You have to understand that LA Fitness, the people that are higher up than the trainers, the managers, usually are not qualified in the slightest to train anyone. They do nothing about health, fitness, weight loss, wellness, absolutely nothing. One of my bosses were an ex-convict and used to sell cars. He had nothing, no knowledge what to do whatsoever with fitness. The only qualifications that my bosses had was that they could sell just about anything. They were absolutely great at getting you to hand over your credit card and locking you in to that LA Fitness contract. Okay, so it was a normal day at work. I'm finishing up my training clients. I am logging out of the computer and I see Cruella heading down the hallway coming toward the desk, and she comes up to yours truly. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing today? And I say, I'm great. How are you? I just wanted to talk about your schedule and see if you are able to increase your hours. So I say, oh, I wish I could, but my school schedule doesn't allow me to do that. Well, what time do you get off of school? I get out of here at 12 and I have to get to school by 2 to 7 p.m. Oh, great, because I have a client for you at 7:30. Look, y'all, at LA Fitness, you get paid $7 per 30-minute session. You are not making much money as a trainer. Now, if her French booty thought that I was going to work in the morning and then get to school from 12 to 7 and then bring my black behind right on back to LA Fitness for one client for 30 minutes to get paid $7, then she's crazy. I didn't say that though. I just said I have homework and study time and I just like to wind down after, a long day at school. You would think that she would get that hint. Nope. So on Tuesdays, I didn't work because I would go to school from 11 a.m. to 10 at night. So I would come to work out on Tuesdays in the morning and then head off to school. So a few days later, Cruella comes up to me and says, Michelle, I see you work out in the mornings on Tuesday. I thought you had school. I do. At 11. How do you know that I work out on Tuesdays if you aren't here in the morning? Oh, Chipmunk told me. Chipmunk was Cruella's creepy, not qualified to be a personal trainer, hit on every chick that would talk behind his back after he would go away, disgusting, evil henchman. I mean the weekend manager. So I guess Chipmunk mentioned to Cruella that I work out in the morning. So she goes, well, couldn't you just work until about 11:30 and then head to school? I wanted my Tuesday to just focus on school so I wasn't rushing around like I was throughout the whole week. And the fact that I was there until 10 o'clock at night. So I told her, no, I just want to focus on school on Tuesdays. So for about a week, Cruella would walk down the hall and approach me trying to figure out how I can extend my schedule. So I got a little fed up. So the next time she asked me, Michelle, do you think you could at least come in at 5 a.m.? And I flat out just said no. No. My school schedule does not allow me to do that. So no, Cruella. So at LA Fitness, the training managers, the training salespeople pretty much, are the ones that control your schedule. They control you getting clients. And as far as training with trainers at LA Fitness, like the customer who pays for training, LA Fitness loves to lock you in to a 6-month to a year contract. So when clients are done, they are done. Because usually the training managers are very, very good at selling. They will lock you into the 1-year contract. A lot of people were with LA Fitness for a year. So I can't blame people, who stop training with trainers for a year when it's at LA Fitness. Because, hidden fees, horrible customer service. Remember I said when you have issues, you have to go to the managers, and the managers didn't really do their job well. They weren't good. They were only good at being So when I would get a new client and I would ask, what contract did you get? And they said a year. I was like, 1 year, huh? There was actually one trainer that was stealing from clients, as in they would find, people and just put random people on a schedule and then charge them even though they didn't train them. So he was just racking in some money without training people, and I would see him like on the basketball court, schedule full, and just playing basketball as he's getting paid. Side note, he got fired, but he was still able to come into the gym. The clients also did not get their money back for the trainer stealing their sessions. So would you sign up for another 6 months to a year if you were experiencing, things like that? So it just happened when Cruella was coming in shortly after a lot of my clients' contracts were up. And usually when a client's year contract was done, it would get sucked up by someone else. The training manager would sell to someone else and they would immediately put them on my schedule. One client's contract was up, and then another and another. And I wasn't getting filled back up. So I went to go communicate with Cruella and I said, I can take some new clients. I have a few open spots if you want to put some people in there. And she goes, oh, I'm not making any sales. And I say, oh, okay, I get it, understandable. But just so you know, I do have open spots because I thought maybe she just didn't see. So no joke, next day, 2 new trainers working at LA Fitness. Cruella, why do you need 2 new trainers if sales are low and you already have a full-on staff of trainers who have open spots? So weeks pass, more clients' contracts are up, and I am at the lowest of the low of how many clients that I have. I have like 3. And I started really questioning myself as a trainer, and I got a little depressed, like what the hell? I love being a trainer and working with people and helping people, and maybe I'm just not good at it. So I had so much free time now that I didn't have all those clients anymore, except for school, and I started going to the gym at odd times to kind of freshen up my workout, help me get undepressed, and like bring more excitement to my life to not see the same people over and over again. You know how you don't want to see the same people every single day of your life. So I ended up going at an odd time that I normally don't work out, and I ended up running into an old client of mine. And she says, hey, I tried to sign up again, but the new lady said that you were booked up. And I was like, are you sure she said that? And she was like, yeah, she said you have absolutely no opening. And she tried to put me with one of the new trainers. And I'm still looking at her like, I was like, that lady at the desk said that I was booked up completely. And she goes, yep, that's the one. So I think, maybe this is just a mix-up. It has to be a mix-up. Why would she tell someone that wanted to be on my schedule that I'm completely booked up? So get this though. So I continue to go work out at very odd times that I normally don't work out. So I go in and it's booty day, my favorite day. I love working glutes, and usually when I work glutes, it happens every single time. At least one woman comes up to me and has to ask questions about my workout routine or how I got my butt like that. Do you do those squat challenges every day with no weight? No, I lift. So I go in, I'm working my glutes, and I notice this girl, is kind of checking me out, as in like checking me out to see what I'm doing so that she can do it. And I smile at her, and then she comes on over. And she goes, I just have to tell you that you have a beautiful body, and I got my free assessment session from this lady. She didn't know her name, but I knew who she was talking about because she was the only lady training manager who would do the assessments Cruella. So I was getting my assessment from this lady and I was gonna sign up, and I asked if I could train with you, and she said that you were all booked up. You must be really popular. So since I couldn't have you, I ended up not signing up. I was still stuck on the part of her saying that I was all booked up and had absolutely no spot. So the lady that came up to me during my workout, she was a bigger woman. She wasn't obese, but she was just bigger. And she told me that when she refused to sign up, Cruella got this evil look on her face and said, well, you'll always be fat if you don't get a personal trainer.
Craig, I looked this woman in the eye, I said, bitch.
So I kept going in at random hours, and again, this random person I ended up talking to, and they say the same thing that the other people said. I signed up for personal training, I really wanted to be with you, and then Chipmunk said that you were completely booked. So for around over a month, I had a total of 10 people say that Cruella and Chipmunk said that I was completely booked and she can't work with you. Sometimes they would say that I didn't even work there. So at this point, after about a month, my schedule was completely open minus one client. And look, we lived in the suburbs, like I said in my other videos, but my parents were still black. They were not just handing me out money. I had to work because my parents charged me rent for staying at their house. And I also kind of liked to eat, so I kind of had to make money. And I was running out of money. College books are not cheap. So I started trying to find things to kind of occupy my mental time, finding new, things to do to just bide my time and just distract me. So I decided to become a vegetarian. I thought it was gonna be kind of cool to just experience. There's a story behind that. If you want to know about it, just tell me in the comment section as to why I became a vegetarian back then. Not anymore now. You would know that if you followed me on Instagram. But it was for about 3 years. So I decided to become a vegetarian. I also turned into a huge cardio junkie. I'm talking about like 20 miles, like running 20 miles, biking 40 miles, doing the stair stepper for like 2 hours. I don't recommend all of these things. Don't do that. I was just going through things. So this was like my time to how I was coping with me not making money. I just had so much anger against chubby faced chipmunk douche and Cruella. So I just wanted to kind of burn off that anger. And it felt great. So I shrunk in size, and I still had muscle, but I was definitely smaller, and people definitely took notice, and I think they knew that I was a little stressed out. But I was loving all that cardio at the time. It was a great stress reliever, and they weren't giving me clients, so I was like, it, and I'm just gonna use LA Fitness as a free gym membership, because that's pretty much what you get when you're an employee at LA Fitness, and a very low paycheck. And a horrible boss. So once again, I was there all the time. I would be there all day, 2 hours, 3 hours, just doing my miles, doing my Stairmaster for two hours. And I noticed from the corner of my eye, I would occasionally see Cruella just staring at me in the dark corners of LA Fitness. So one day I'm walking out and Cruella's at the front and she goes, oh, Michelle, you have lost so much weight. You are getting way too skinny. And that kind of pissed me off because one, I wasn't skinny, insert picture here. And two, because she was the one causing my stress, and then to stab me with that comment and look at me like I'm gross, even though she had something green in between her teeth as she said this to me, kind of made me want to run her over and then get out of my car and kick her in the face and then get my pug and have her also fart in her face. So I come into work like on a normal day and I walk right past by Cruella and she smiles at me and I head on over to the computer. So I start signing in and the computer says something along the lines as employee does not work here anymore. What? I start trying to sign in again. Same window pops up. Oh. I get what's going on here. They fired me over a computer screen. So going in that day, I had only one client. So I still trained her because that wasn't her fault. So I still trained her. Cruella saw me still training her while she knew that I was fired because I just learned that from a computer screen. So I finished up her workout and I'm like, bye, I'm gonna go work out by myself. And so I got on my computer, paid for my own membership, so then, they can't be like, oh, you're not an employee here, you're here without a membership, you need to leave. So I bought my membership right then and there, paid on the internet, made sure none of those people were gonna get commission off of me. And I went to go get a nice workout in. So I'm drenched in sweat. I've been on the Stairmaster for an hour and I see Cruella slithering up to my direction and she says, hello, Michelle. I ignored her ass. And she keeps standing there and notices I'm not even looking at her. And she moves around so that she's in my vision. And I take my earphones out and say, what? And she goes, can we please talk at my desk? And I look at her like, so I say, look, Cruella, I know you don't work out, but I'm trying to get my workout in uninterrupted. And earphones go back in. So I finish up my cardio and I go to the weightlifting area to work my legs and my glutes. And this chick comes up to me again. And she says, can I talk to you? And I say, look, Cruella, I'm not dumb. I know you fired me. And she looks utterly confused. And I say, do you know how to do your job? I tried to sign in and the computer told me. And she looks super shocked and caught off guard that I knew and she couldn't even speak. So I turn and continue my workout as she stands there in disbelief. So I had buds in my ears when I was working out and they kept falling out and they were annoying. I could hear people. So I wanted to go get my huge earphones that just blocked everybody's annoying voices out because I was kind of irritated at that point. So I start walking out and Cruella is there and she blocks me from leaving. Excuse you. So she goes, Michelle, I need to talk to you at my desk now. So I figure, fine, this will be the last time that I talk to this stupid bitch. Sorry, I had to cuss. I just had to say it. I had to because maybe she'll see this video and I have fantasized about the day that I could just call her a stupid bitch to her face and I'll probably never get that opportunity. So it feels kind of good to say it on video. And you know how people say, oh, you're not gonna feel good by calling someone a name, but that felt damn good. But I do want to apologize to my YouTube crew. I lost it there, but I hope you understand. Tell me in the comment section if you understand. I just had to say it. Hashtag this if you agree with me. So she starts pulling me to her desk and we get to her desk and she says, you've been a wonderful part to this team and I enjoy you here, but sorry, but you don't work enough hours. So I say, Cruella, I know you were telling people I was booked up so my schedule would dwindle down so that you would have a reason to fire me. And she looks back at Chipmunk and back at me straight in my face and says, no, we didn't. Wait, I never said we. I said you, so you've been caught. And so she goes, Michelle, we no longer need your services here at LA Fitness. Cruella, I know you my schedule. I have 10 people who have no connection with each other with similar stories. You are no longer needed here and you are not able to work out at this LA Fitness ever. I'm banning you. What? Your French behind is banning me from all LA Fitnesses. So I start laughing and say, no, you're not. And so she says, if you do not leave, I will call the police on you and make you leave. So I say, I'm gonna go do calf raises. Cruella. So I start getting up to go do my calf raises and she says, Michelle, you are fired and no longer needed and I don't know why she kept saying that you are no longer needed for your services are no longer needed in LA Fitness. Like she kept repeating that. Like, are you a robot? Like, do you know how to just speak like a normal person? Michelle, you are fired. And I whip my head around. Cruella, I already knew I was fired. Why? Because you don't have the vagina to fire me to my face. A computer had to do your meaningless job. And so she goes, Ursula! Ursula! She's not leaving! She called the police! She's not leaving! So I'm just laughing at her little mental breakdown at this point, and I go do my calf raises. So now I'm amped, blood boiling after that fiasco with Cruella, listening to old school Destiny's Child, and I happen to just look up from doing the calf raise, and I see 2 6'3" police officers, and they say, where is the suspect? And I see Ursula points right at me with this evil smile on her face. So they start walking up and one pulls out handcuffs and grabs my arm, trying to handcuff me. So I go crazy, flailing everywhere. I punch one dude in the crotch and they start pulling me towards the entrance of the gym. Y'all ain't seen the last of me. I'll get my revenge if it's the last thing I do. Yeah, y'all would love for that to happen. Too bad it didn't. So the police walk in and they ask where the suspect is, and Ursula points right at me with her evil freaking smile. She didn't like me and I didn't like her. So she points at me and the police officers, expecting this huge crazy lunatic, they look at me like, her? She's the one that we have to escort out with force? They're like, are you serious? This little 5'2" little thing. Remember, I lost a lot of weight, so I wasn't very like full, full muscular, and they're just kind of like, because the way that they were describing the situation, I was insane. I was threatening. So they walk up to me, kind of uncomfortable. They look kind of awkward, and they say, we just have to escort you out. And I went out without a fight. Take me away, coppers! We don't need to handcuff you. So I picked up my workout bag and walked out with the police. I told you guys I'm from the streets of the suburbs. I walked out like a lady.
I'm so hood, I can't help it. I'm so hood, I can't help it.
So we get outside, and guys, I have a pretty easygoing personality, and at this point, we're kind of making jokes. Me and the police officers are kind of making jokes with each other, and they kind of tell me the situation about what Cruella and Ursula said. So pretty much I was threatening Cruella and Ursula. I was I was screaming, I was yelling, I was slamming on the desk my fist. I was like, I'm not leaving, I'm gonna stay here. The members were all staring in fear, apparently. So I told the police officers this whole story that I'm telling you guys, and they pretty much think that Cruella was an idiot. And they were a tad bit irritated that she wasted their time. And I told them, I was like, I didn't threaten her. They go back in and they get her side of story for their reports, and they come back out and they tell me, well, she actually said, she changed her story as they went in. On the phone, she said, I threatened her. When the police started talking to her, she said, oh, well, she didn't threaten me, but I felt threatened. I can't help the way you feel, girl. You're 56. How did you make it through life? How? So the boss of all bosses, he wasn't the owner. He was, there's the managers and then someone else and then there's someone else. So he's not the owner, but there's one of the top bossy boss people. I know when he was coming in, our managers would act right and they would make sure everything was right. So he was higher up than the managers. And so he ended up calling me later on that day. I explained the situation to him and he said, well, she can't ban you from all LA Fitnesses, but I'm gonna put you on LA Fitness probation. He literally said LA Fitness probation. LA Fitness probation came out of this 80-year-old man's face. So I was like, Mr. Burns, at your gym, there was a manager that had sex after hours. The other manager was extremely rude to every single slightly attractive female member, trainer, employee to their face. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, your other manager who has been reported many times, who looks like a troll, the troll manager, who would touch women during their assessments on their butt, inner thigh, right underneath their chest. That was reported. He never got fired. He still there. Remember the trainer that we had? Remember that? The trainer that was stealing sessions from people? Yeah, he got fired, but I saw him the very next day. In fact, I saw him today shooting hoops, hooping it up in the basketball court. Yeah? Yeah, so what's this 3-month probation that I'm just now hearing about? By the way, the 3-month probation is real. If you get fired, you can't go to that gym for 3 months, but it was never, ever, I never even heard of this when I got hired. I never heard of it when other people would get fired. People would just come in the next day. Some of them didn't even have memberships. So I was trying to do it the right way, get a membership and be left alone and just get my workouts in the morning. But apparently, there's a 3-month probation when you get fired, and no one else, I was the first person to get 3-month probation. No one else that got fired got it. So there's a pause between me and Mr. Burns, and he goes, well, I can't control everything that happens in the gym, but as far as I'm concerned, you're on LA Fitness probation. So I just hang up on him because I can't deal with any more LA Fitness fools. So I wasn't allowed to be a paying customer at LA Fitness for 3 months. And I'm sure you're like, well, why would you want to work out at a place that did that to you anyway? Because I'm petty, because I'm so threatening to Miss Cruella, then that means I want her to see me every single day since she doesn't want me to be there. I personally didn't do anything wrong, so I want to make sure she sees me all the time, every day. So I did my 3-month LA Fitness probation. One of my friends ended up working at another LA Fitness location. I went in there, he gave me a super Good deal. The day that my LA Fitness probation was up, I stroll into LA Fitness like, hi, Cruella. And it wasn't all bad. I ended up turning my garage into a whole studio. I had a great reputation at LA Fitness as far as members and my clients, and the fact that they didn't like LA Fitness either, so my schedule got booked quick when they heard I started doing my own business. I was making 4 times as much as I was making at LA Fitness. I did make a lot of lifelong friends at LA Fitness as well. The maintenance man who would put together the machines for my home gym, all for free. And because of LA Fitness's horrible customer service and the fact that the fitness manager would say, well, I guess you'll always be fat if you don't get a personal trainer. They were literally handing me clients on a golden platter. They made it too easy to have a great business. And that's it, you guys. That's literally how I got fired from LA Fitness, from Cruella, the final boss. So this is the end of my LA Fitness series, and I'm kind of sad because I liked sharing these stories with you. I seriously have so many stories about LA Fitness though, especially the trainers. So maybe if you guys want some more little mini stories about LA Fitness, let me know by thumbs upping this video and sharing that good old LA Fitness tea with a friend. And don't forget to watch all the other parts of this series. They're all located in the description box below. If you like seeing this face, then follow me on Instagram. And if you want to support me and have more videos, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys next time.